Well, here we go then, in a place where it's all about the Longhorns. Today it's all about the horsepower. Welcome to Austin and the 2022 Formula One United States Grand Prix. It is the 10th time that we have raced at the Circuit of the Americas. It's round 19 in 2022, and the Constructors' Championship could be settled today. So the Texas Longhorn and the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders could be cheering Red Bull if Ferrari don't outscore them by 19 points. It's happened once already this season, and that was in Bahrain when the two Red Bulls didn't make it to the checkered flag. There's 53 laps to go before the checkered flag today around this 3.42 mile circuit. There are 20 corners, 11 to the left and 9 to the right. 6 braking events, 3 of which are described as heavy, and a maximum speed of about 196 miles an hour as you approach turn 12 in the heavy braking zone there. At turn 1, well, there's always a chance for an overtake. 2021, this was Kimi Räikkönen and Fernando Alonso, world champions, battling away through turn 1 and down the hill into turn 2. Let's go towards that turn 12 now with Valtteri Bottas, Yuki Tsunoda and Lance Stroll. 3 of them all scrapping away. Valtteri Bottas was the man who won from pole in 2019, and he was involved in that scrap this time last year. Sebastian Vettel and George Russell. George Russell driving for Williams, of course, and Sebastian Vettel in the Aston Martin, showing that you can go round the outside as the lap progresses down at turn 18. There are plenty of places to try and get your overtakes done, certainly in that final sector. Tyres are going to be everything today. C4 the soft, we might not see many of those being used. C3 the medium, C2 the hard. It's protecting your front tyres, the key to a good race strategy today. And here is the starting grid then, with lots of drivers out of position because of penalties. Esteban Ocon, one of them, he starts on the pit lane, and Yuki Tsunoda, who took a late penalty for a new gearbox. Zhou Guanyu almost made it into Q3, had a lap deleted, starts 18th, and Nicholas Latifi just ahead of him. Mick Schumacher is 16th, Daniel Ricciardo, third Q1 knockout in 5 races, starts 15th. Car number 14 starts 14th, Fernando Alonso. Kevin Magnussen promoted up to 13th after being knocked out in Q1. It's Pierre Gasly 11th and Charles Leclerc with a 10th place penalty, who starts 12th for Ferrari. Sebastian Vettel into the top 10 for the second time in 2 races, alongside Sergio Perez, who takes a 5th place penalty. Alex Albon moves up to 8th, and Valtteri Bottas, former pole sitter here, will start 7th for Alfa Romeo. Lance Stroll has his highest start since pole in Turkey in 2020. Lando Norris is 6th alongside him. Mercedes, 2 cars in the top 4 on the grid for the first time this season. Lewis Hamilton equals his best start of the year. Max Verstappen on the front row, and the driver starting second as we're all set for the 10th United States Grand Prix here at the Circuit of the Americas. We're in the Lone Star State, and it's lights out and away we go. And Lewis Hamilton goes around the outside of Sainz, is spun round and is tagged, and he's gone from pole to last in the space of 1 corner. As he then goes into the corner, Sainz came across George Russell. Who was at fault there?
Carlos was taking the racing line up there, and George trying to claim the apex, but he was all locked up.
That is absolute heartbreak for Carlos Sainz, who is being pushed into the garage.
Come on, what happened there? Good punctuating cars from Mercedes.
As we head onto the back straight with George Russell, and George Russell has DRS that will be operational, and he's gaining, and he's gaining, and he's gaining on Lance Stroll. I don't think Lance Stroll's going to fight this one, and George Russell is up into 3rd place. This is Sergio Perez and his move on Sebastian Vettel. I wondered what was happening to Nicholas Latifi as he started tumbling down the order, and that is the reason why. And here comes Sergio Perez, and there goes his front wing end plate. You saw it. Former Ferrari driver Sebastian Vettel now in the green of Aston Martin. Leclerc has made up another place.
There, the moment. Oh, he's very much spun there, hasn't he?
Spun and beached for Valtteri Bottas. Turn 19. Will this be a safety car? Yes, it will be a safety car.
So this is just a little bit of luck that Ferrari needed today. Charles Leclerc comes out, clears nicely Sebastian Vettel, who's also going to luck in to a cheap pit stop time-wise.
Charles Leclerc comes out in 4th place. and he's made contact with Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin. And I hope that Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll are both okay. He did get very airborne. He goes to the left, and Lance Stroll moves to the left to try and block Fernando Alonso.
You okay? Yes, mate. Very late move.
It was a little late jink left.
I crashed. Okay, Lance, you okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
Charles Leclerc with that DRS is catching him once again. He's in the slipstream, he's got the speed. Can he be late on the brakes and dive down the inside? He's going for it. Charles Leclerc, the crowd roar their approval. That was absolutely brilliant.
Oh, this is not a great stop, and it's medium tyres. It's a horrible stop.
This is going to make it even less close. Lewis Hamilton is going to take the lead of this race. What's happened to Max Verstappen in the pit stop? That front left wheel wasn't tightened up enough, and he's been beaten by Charles Leclerc in the pit. Sebastian Vettel takes the lead of the race. Hamilton is second. Here goes Max Verstappen down the inside on Charles Leclerc. It's the old switcheroo from Leclerc though. He's got him on the exit. Oh, brilliant stuff. And Verstappen pulls out from behind the Ferrari and gets the move done into the braking zone. Can Hamilton dive down the inside for the lead of the race? Yes, he can. Vettel didn't really defend that one, but Hamilton now takes the lead of the US Grand Prix. And Fernando Alonso making his way then past the Haas of Kevin Magnussen. I didn't know if that debris had come off. And Verstappen with DRS closing in on Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton leading the race. Verstappen goes down the inside. Hamilton sees that coming, tries the switcheroo. Verstappen goes deep, and now they're going to go wheel to wheel. Hamilton tries to go round the outside. Here goes Sebastian Vettel round the outside of Alex Albon. Celebrations for team and for driver. Max Verstappen wins the United States Grand Prix. And on the track, Sebastian Vettel still giving his explosive action.
Max Verstappen, you are world champion. We are world champions. Thank you so much, and thank you, Dietrich Mateschitz, for everything that you have done.
This one was for Dietrich, and yeah, congrats guys, what an amazing season to win also the constructors. You guys really deserve it.
Norris 6th, Alonso 7th, Sebastian Vettel comes home to finish 8th. They all came to challenge, as they have done throughout this season, but it's Red Bull on top on the day that their Drivers' World Champion came and won in Texas and sealed their first Constructors' Championship since 2013.
It was all looking great up until that pit stop, and then we had to work for it a little bit harder than we would have liked. But luckily everything worked out, and we got back into the lead with a few laps to go. This is like, I think, a typical race Dietrich would have loved to see. Yeah, we just pushed till the end.
I couldn't have done anything better, I don't think, today. I'm really proud of myself in that respect. I'm really proud of the team. The pit stops were great. The strategy was great. We gave everything we could. We're fighting against a team that's 10K faster than us on the straight, and ultimately have won almost all the races. So for us to even be in the equation, I think is a huge positive.
I feel like we are limited by the tire degradation mostly. The pace is there, we've been strong all weekend, but then towards the end we ran out of tires, and then it was difficult.
To Carlos, you never want to be involved in an incident that ultimately destroys somebody else's race. When I attacked turn one, I was focused on the 3 cars around me, and I was expecting Carlos to try and fight it around the outside of Max. So I braked quite deep into the corner, and then when I saw he tried cutting back underneath Max, it was already too late for me there, and I couldn't avoid the incident.
a very strong car, and we changed tires from win and we kept going, and yeah, it was amazing that the car managed to complete the 31 laps until the end, and we still finished P7 after being P17, so it was a good race.